Hi guys. So this is the first time I have ever done a YouTube live for myself. So I don't know if anything's working. I might actually just be talking to myself for the next 30 to 45 minutes. But if you can hear me and if you are excited about our kind of first chat together, it looks like if I'm not mistaken, again, this is my first time. I think that the chat is open for you guys. So you can actually like drop any comments in there. You can give me a thumbs up if you can hear me okay. You can obviously like the video as well as we are talking, which I would really love that if you don't mind. That'd be really helpful. It looks like you guys can see and hear me. Fantastic news. So I am super excited about today. If you have been following my journey for a while, you know that I am currently in a hotel because we found a significant amount of black mold in our house, unfortunately. So you're gonna see my cat and dog behind me. Lily, you wanna say hi? You wanna say hi? She's actually really beautiful. If I can get her to not be lazy, let's see. That's my dog. Say hello. So they're going to be joining me. My cat is on the other side of me. I can't figure out how this webcam is working. She's over here somewhere. So they'll be joining me a little bit in the background. Hope you guys don't mind. For anyone who was able to join me live today, thank you guys so much. I know that I did this like completely out of the blue. It was literally, I decided about yesterday that I was going to do this, and I made the entire script and like flow today, and then I sent you guys an email 15 minutes ago. So if you are watching this live, thank you guys so much for being here. I'm super excited to kind of chat with you guys today, give you some tips. And then also, I want to be able to answer any of your questions in real time as well. So feel free if I'm shaking this thing a lot. I'm sorry. Feel free if like anything I say doesn't make sense, or if you're like, hey, how do you go about that? Feel free. Let me know in the comments because when I do these lives, which I haven't done one myself here, but I've done them plenty of times every Thursday for a YouTube client that I have. I usually am really good about like answering your questions in real time rather than waiting until the end. So feel free if you have anything that you want me to maybe go over again or elaborate on or whatever the case may be. Feel free to drop it in there. Someone just said my dog is beautiful. Thank you. I know yours is beautiful too, Fern. I love, love, love your dog. Okay, so with that said, how I see these things kind of going forward in the future is I think I'm going to do these every Tuesday going forward. And it's going to be something that obviously everyone is welcome to attend, but it's really, really important for my PCCA group members because it's basically going to be perpetuating everything that we are doing internally inside that community together. But I do want to make sure that I can help impact as many people as possible as well. So these are going to be on YouTube. So with that said, I'm going to see. I do not know if I am able to do this, but I'm going to try. We are learning together all at the same time. I'm going to try to share my screen. I don't know what you guys can see. Hopefully you can see this. So I've decided to just basically throw something together. It's a quick, like, as you see, it's like 20 pages. It's just a quick little slide deck of what I kind of wanted to talk about today that I hope will be helpful for all of you guys. So when you see, this kind of sentence or this hook or title, if you will, you more than likely are assuming that we are going to get on here and talk about content creation tips, maybe even like the softwares that I use, or maybe the like stuff like this, like the actual tools that I use to do this. How do I land brand deals, blah, blah, blah. That is exactly opposite of what we are going to do today. So if you were expecting that, you can go ahead and hop off. I will not take offense to it whatsoever. What we're going to do instead is basically figure out if you are right now in a place of burnout, or like in your own business and you are not enjoying it anymore. No, honestly, no matter what you're doing, everything that we're going to talk about today can technically be applicable to every type of business. But of course, I'm going to speak mostly in the content creation space. Even if you're like brand new, by the way, and maybe you're scared to even get into creating content or get into creating an online business, whatever it is, that is what we're going to talk about today instead. So I'm going to see if I can scroll through this and again, hope it works. So the first thing I want to hit on really quickly is I want to go back a little bit, about 15 months ago, July 2023. So some of you guys have been a part of my journey for that long. Most of you haven't. Most of you came, thank God, in 2024 when I wasn't having a mental breakdown. 2023 was not the best time of my life. And by my life, I mean my business. I personally hated making content. I had grown to over 120,000 followers on TikTok. I had grown to over 20,000 followers on Instagram. I had made over $50,000 on Upwork, and I had just started getting, good traction on Fiverr. And I was like, I hate this. This is not what I want to be doing. And it literally took me basically the year of 2024 to determine why and fix those things. And now I have basically a business model or a mission statement. Is it used to be, I want to help you just make more money working less time. Of course, I want to do that. That is still very much so like my goal in this business, but I want to do so by building my new little tag is an aligned and refined business, because a lot of the people that I have served this year are in the exact place that I was in last year. And they hate what they're doing. They feel that they have boxed themselves into a space that they cannot get out of. They feel like they can't be themselves authentically online. They feel like they have to work for these clients that they don't really align with, maybe their values, maybe their products, but it's driving income. And I don't want that for you guys. So, what we're going to talk about today, instead of how to make the content or how to build the business, is how to get yourself out of that hole that sometimes we as creators and online business owners or prospective online business owners sometimes unfortunately dig ourselves into. So you'll see a couple of things that I was obviously going through this time last year. And if any of these have ever resonated with you, I want you to give this video a thumbs up. Or I want you to drop a thumbs up or a heart or something in the caption or in the comments, because I want to make sure that I'm not crazy. Because I mean, I am crazy. And y'all, if y'all know me, y'all know I'm a little crazy. Hence why we're on live at 11 a.m. today when I just made this plan yesterday. But I also don't think that I'm the only one that either has experienced this already, is experiencing this currently, or is nervous to potentially experience this in the future. Okay. So, with that said, this also, not only did it hurt my mental health, not only did it hurt my physical health, not only did it hurt my relationships, not only did it obviously not really help the community that I was building, which was a certain of a large number at the time, but it was also hurting me financially. Because I was not showing up in the ways that I needed to be. I thought that I needed to be what everybody else wanted me to be or what everyone else was being. And that was actively hurting me financially. So this is a literal screenshot, guys, from granted, I'm not going to lie, these numbers are beautiful. I'm proud of them, but they are a lot smaller than what I'm used to. And the reason why is because I was not aligned with what I was doing. Or if you see things like this, let's just say this 19 and this 20, I'm going to give you guys a little anecdote. Last September 2023, I was asked to go speak at a conference, and I had in Europe, which was amazing. Like, that's literally what content creation can do. That's what building an online business can do for you. I was all expenses paid trip for me and my husband to spend a week in Europe. Amazing, right? However, I had a panic attack the night before that lasted about 4 or 5 hours. And it was absolutely miserable. I literally almost was like, how much is a plane home? Like, how much is a flight home? I can't do this. And it was a lot of, who am I? It was a lot of, why the hell would someone want to listen to me? It was also a lot of misalignment. I am no longer working with that client at this time, and it's because I was not aligned back then, and I promised myself that I would only be aligned going forward. So I say that it didn't just hurt me in one way, it was literally costing me financially as well. So in December 2023, I decided to make a change once and for all. So again, not only was I going to show up as the most authentic, unapologetic version of myself, no matter where that was, no matter if that was on Upwork, if that was on a discovery call, if that was dealing with my day-to-day clients, if that was on Instagram, no matter what it was, I was going to show up as Leslie 24/7. But I also wanted to make sure in the year of 2024 that I was going to be experiencing time freedom without the potential of going down in income. And that happened a lot, to say the least. If you've been following my journey for 2024, you know that we're actually, I think, like $1,500. I haven't told anybody this actually. We're $1,500 away from passing $250,000 this year. And my goal was 220,000, 222, because my angel number is 222. And I surpassed that in like August. And then now I'm about to surpass $250,000, which is the craziest thing in the world. But it was while I was doing the things that actually made sense for my business. It was while I was building this aligned and refined mentality and aligned and refined community. So now that you know the why behind why I'm here, I've had this heavy on my heart for a really long time now. And it wasn't just my story, because I have seen, I have personally worked with seven, I believe, seven one-on-one clients this year alone in 2024. When I decided I was going to build an aligned and refined business, they were like, I need that shit too. How do I do that? What do I do? How did you do that? How did you overcome where you were last July? So I've worked with seven different people that were all in the exact same space, that are right now, even that are just now being able to come out of it, that were in the exact same space that I was in last July. And I want to make sure that you guys are not in that same space. Or if you are, let's get you out of it together. So this is usually like the kind of one-on-one experience that I would have with someone. These are the things that over time we might uncover together. I'm basically a therapist, to be honest. Like, I'm not a business coach. And most people tell me that. It's like, yes, I can give them all the tools and the resources, but it's really discovering underlying things that they basically, like, limiting beliefs that they're putting in front of themselves, or mindset shifts that they need in order to truly build an aligned and refined biz for themselves as well. So, with that said, let's go ahead and dive into the things that I believe are most important when either starting this career or considering starting this career. Or again, if you are in the Leslie July 2023 space, these are the things that you should look at. These are the things that you should take note of over the next couple of months. And when January comes, because I had these literal conversations with myself last October and last November to make damn sure that 2024 was different. So if you're in that space right now, you got 60 days to figure it out. All right, let's go through it. The first thing is, I'm going to basically build these out into don'ts and do's, stop and starts. Okay. So the first thing is, I don't want you to do everything yourself. That was the absolute biggest problem that I had, because I truly, in back then, not now, I truly believed anything you can do, I can do better and faster. And that is a really shitty way to live. That is a impossible business strategy. And I found that out very, very quickly when my first month after I left my 9 to 5 job, I was like, I hit my first 11K month, my first month after leaving. So that was incredible. But I was also working double the amount of hours that I was working in my 9 to 5. Granted, it takes a lot of time in the beginning to build, of course. I didn't just randomly pop on YouTube today and quit yesterday. Like, obviously, I've been building this community, I've been building this brand, this aligned and refined business for at least a year, but also almost 3.5 years at this point. So I found out very quickly that I was only doing myself and the people who I wanted to serve a disservice by doing everything myself. So, a couple ways that you can do this for yourself, but not for yourself, you can do this to help yourself, is to hire other freelancers to own the stuff that you don't have to do. This is literally called the global gig economy. That's who all of us are. And by that, that means basically that you are trading services for monetary value. Gig economy, right? And the global gig economy is so ridiculously large, and it is expanding every single day, with more and more people like me talking about how fucking awesome it is to have an online business. So I need you to understand that the same way that you bring all of these incredible things to the table, there are probably like at least 100 other of yous that can do the same thing. Or you can have someone that maybe is really skilled at something that you're not, but still needs to happen in your business. For example, I do not edit my YouTube videos. I am not an editor. I mean, I technically could, but it's like I know where my time needs to go, and that's not it. So, what did I do? I actually have two YouTube editors, one for my channel, one for my client's channel. And I pay them all directly. And I am growing the global gig economy while also growing my business. It just made sense to me. And I hope it makes sense to you guys as well. If you have never heard of or read The 4 Hour Work Week by Tim Ferriss, I don't want to like lose my views on this, but like stop what you're doing and go to Amazon and grab that video or what is wrong with me? Grab that book after this video. It is actually the book that I was reading right before I quit my job or right during my 30-day notice period. And it completely changed my life. It taught me everything about this thing called global arbitrage, which basically means you can give someone else something that you are supposed to be doing and sell it. And it absolutely changed my life. It taught me everything about outsourcing. It taught me everything about how the 4D hour work week 40 is actually like a scam. And you can truly, with the right business model, strategies, tools, automations, resources, AI, technologies, etc., you can truly work 4 hours a week and make $250,000 a year minimum, like easily. Go get that book. If you do nothing else from this video, go get that book. The second thing you can do is utilize tools through, like I said, AI technology to do things like idea generation, scripting, caption writing, content planning, maybe even like pitch templates, literally anything. We are living in, I don't want to say the easiest, but one of the easiest times of all of American history where we have this awesome guy named Charles. And if you don't know my brand, Charles is ChatGPT. So we have this awesome guy named Charles that can literally help us with anything. And he is like my bestie, man. That's my coworker. That's who I hang out with all day, every day. If you looked at me and Charles's like chats back and forth, he is so kind to me. I am so kind to him. He asked me about how my day is going. And we live in such an incredible and interesting time where that is the norm. And I don't know why you're not relying on it more than you probably already are. Next and last is to invest in automation tools that can do things for you in the background. A quick example that I put here that I do in my own business is I use ClickFunnels to sell a lot of my digital products. But my ClickFunnels doesn't really let me know when something happens because I'm not on the super paid feature. But Zapier is something that basically does certain things called zaps when something happens. So when this app does something or when this platform does something, this trigger happens, this platform does something. So for example, when ClickFunnels purchase is made, Leslie gets a zap to her email that X number of people bought this at this rate, and here's their email, whatever it is. So it just allows those things to happen in the background. This is because I used to manually go in and have to look at all of my stuff on a weekly basis. And then I found very quickly I should not be doing that. I should not be wasting my time with that. I should pay someone or something to do it for me so that I can spend that time instead being on a live with you guys. It makes so much more sense to my business, and it might make more sense for yours as well. So I invite you guys, if you want to, by all means, drop it in the comments. I invite you to think, what could I possibly automate in my business right now? What's the first thing that comes to your head? Drop it in the comments. Then what I want you to do is, if you're open to it, for the next 10 days, maybe 5, maybe 2, whatever you have the mental capacity to do. This is only going to work if you are a current full-time online business owner. If you are thinking about doing online business, you can still do this, but you're going to want to do this only in the times that are completely dedicated to said online business, right? I want you to do a time study on yourself. I want you every 3 hours, maybe twice a day, so 4 hours and 8 hours, whatever you do, I want you to write down what you did And I want you to be as granular as possible. It's going to be annoying. I'm not going to lie. I've done this multiple times in my business because I need to confirm and affirm that I am still on the right track all the time. I do this literally quarterly. Highly recommend you guys doing the same. Once you have that list, what I want you to do then is you can do a spreadsheet, you could do a Google Sheet, Excel, you could do a document, you could do a notes in your iPhone, does not matter to me. Split it up into 3 columns. Has to be me, could be someone else, could be automated. And then I want you to take that giant list of shit that you did for the past 10 days, 2 days, 24 hours, whatever you decide to do for your exercise, and then start filtering them into those 3 lists. And I can guarantee if you allow yourself to be okay with delegating and you allow yourself to relinquish some control, your list is going to be about this big. Someone else's list is going to be about this big. And then automation's list is going to be about that big. And then you have all of this space over here in column 1 to fill with dope stuff that now you get to do for your business. Okay. So that's number 1. We still got a while to go, guys. That's number 1. I also want to encourage you guys, and this is why I said earlier, this is technically for every type of business that is accepting, which everybody technically should, accepting feedback of all sorts. Okay. So if you're an e-commerce brand and you receive a bad review, because I've gotten those myself on Etsy before, if you are a content creator and you receive a negative comment, whatever it is, there are millions of ways this could possibly go. You're also a brick and mortar store and you received a bad Google business review. Same concept, right? My deepest insecurities were that's why I was so screwed in 2023, because the things that I had not worked on in myself yet, that I had not come to Jesus with myself on yet, I was being hit by those every single day from other people. And granted, people are mean and people are trolls, and I don't give them any time of my day now. And it's just kind of like I just laugh and make it fun. But back then, I was not in the right place to make it fun. I was in the place of being like, you're right, I'm a piece of shit. Or you're right, why am I doing this? Or you're right, I am an imposter. Whatever it is, I was feeling those things. I had not found that foundation for myself yet. So it was so easy for someone to pull me deep into that quite literal depression as a content creator. So, how I fix this going forward, I want you guys to always, anytime you see any of those things, I want you to remember your why. And if you don't have a why for your business, and don't let the why be make more money while working less. That's a shitty why. I'm sorry, it is, because that's my business's motto, and I'm saying it's a shitty why. The reason why I'm saying this is because that's not actually my why. If you really, really get down, that's like external why. Like, of course, I want to make more money while working less fucking time. Well, of course, who doesn't want that? What I really want, though, is I want to be able to get my husband out of his job so I get to see him on Saturdays. And I want to travel the world and I want to experience things. And I want to pay for my sister's wedding. And I want to pay off my mom and dad's house. Like, I want to be the person that served so many freaking people that I got an award for it. I don't even want the award. I just want to be able to serve that many people. So if you can think and you can get really, really deep, 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 what is your why? It needs to be valuable. It needs to stand the test of time. And it needs to basically allow you to be, it needs to be the thing that pulls you up out of that inevitable hole that you might unfortunately dig for yourself or someone else might try to throw you into. It needs to be that important to you. And it needs to be like, it needs to make your stomach hurt to know that that might not happen. That's your why. If you don't have it, go get it. Okay. I also want you to, like I said earlier, I want you to consistently monitor where you're at and affirm that you are always aligned. And if you're not, it's time to get back on track. And like I said, I personally do this every stinking quarter now because I let myself go for an entire year in this business back in 2023, chasing money, chasing views, chasing virality, and losing myself. And I don't want that for you guys. Look, I want you guys to be able to, if you see these negative comments, these nasty, mean people, And then you can sit back and be like, "Nah, I'm the shit." Or like, "No, I'm doing exactly what I'm supposed to be doing. No, I am being authentic. No, I am being truthful. No, I have integrity." You're good. It'll just fall right off you. But when you do not have those things aligned, when you do not have those things in check, the negative comments will kill you. So keep that in mind. Okay. So if you are feeling some type of way internally about comments, it is because you have something internally that you have to work on. Otherwise, they will just slide right off from experience because I have seen both sides. Okay. I also just personally decided to have some fun with it and tell them. I just started like making jokes and not making fun of them because I'm not a mean person, but I just kind of was like, oh my God, you're right. I am stupid. I am so ugly. Like I don't care anymore. And it got to that point where they were commenting, I was commenting back, they were commenting again, I was commenting back again, and I was just being a kind person, and I was like, "I hope you have the best day today. Not even the day you deserve. I hope you have the best day today because we know what you probably deserve, but I really hope today is a good one for you." And they were like, why would she be like that? Why is she kind? Why is she trying to make light of this? And because of that, my engagement rate went up. So it ended up working out in my favor. So do what you have to do internally to be able to get to that point. All right. Next up, which is the one that I learned the hard way multiple stinking times. Don't copy everybody else. Don't be a copy of a copy of a copy. Don't jump into the new craze just because someone else is doing it, someone that you admired, and I don't think they're really admirable anymore because they're just a copy of a copy. This is definitely something, like I said, I fell into this trap myself where there was this one creator. You guys probably know her. I'm not going to say her name. She's amazing though. Amazing. But she looked like she had all of it together, all of it. And I was like, how in God's green earth is she doing this every single day? How is she making all this money every single day? How is she posting one story and making thousands of dollars? And I was like getting really frustrated because I wasn't. But that's not true at all. We were in different places. We had started our businesses on different planes. We were on different platforms. And then I came into this new platform that she was on and expected to be her. Can't do that. That's only going to hurt you and potentially grow her, him, them, whatever it is. Okay. I do want to say though, it is important no matter what you're doing, no matter what business you're in, to think about like the concept of steal like an artist, because that's kind of the concept of like, let's just use this as an example. Like, this is a water bottle. This is the tumbler. Yeti has theoretically perfected the tumbler, right? But so has everybody else. I don't know if you guys have Meyer where you guys live, but go to Meyer, go to Publix, go to Walmart, go to wherever you have, and go to the like home goods section. You will find 70 of these, all different brands. Okay. So you have to find a way when you're either building your content, building your brand, building your personal UVPs, unique value propositions, whatever you're doing, do not copy verbatim what somebody else is doing just because it's working for them, but learn from them. Something is working and there's a reason why. So learn from them and then figure out, are there any ways that I could potentially come at this uniquely? Is there anything that I can do in this space to add value? Those are the only ways that I have been able to grow in 2024 without just literally throwing my business away and going back to a full-time job. It's because I spent time, instead of like being envious of what that creator was doing, I started learning from her. And I was like, damn, this girl is smart. And now my business is growing because I was able to find a little bit of a gap that she wasn't hitting on that I could help my people with. So figure out what that is for yourself and stop copying people. I also don't want you guys, I say this all the time. If you've ever been on my other YouTube lives for my YouTube client, I say this all the time, that you want to treat whatever you're doing like a true business instead of an expensive hobby. So if we're going to content creation, if we're going into online business, it literally has the word business in it. So let's treat it as such, right? So what does that mean? What does it mean to like truly be an online business? Or what does it truly mean to be a business? What does it truly mean to be a director of marketing, a chief executive officer? What does that mean? You got to create and maintain budgets. You have to create and reforecast goals. You guys might not even know what the word reforecast is unless you're doing it financially, but you also need to be reforecasting your goals. If you're not meeting your goals on a quarterly basis that you set back in December of last year, what are you going to do to either move the needle, adjust the needle? That is what reforecasting is for the rest of the year. And I personally do this every single quarter in my own business. Exactly the same for my budget as well. Creating and testing. I should have put that in bold, italicized, a marketing plan for yourself. Don't just create a marketing plan, put some shit out there. It doesn't work. And then you're like, just keep doing that. That's not going to help anybody. It's sure shit not going to help you. It's definitely not going to help the people that so like readily deserve to hear from you and learn about you and learn from you. You're going to need to test and be okay with testing. We'll get more into that in a second. You're going to need lead gen tactics. You're going to need community development tactics. You're going to need negotiation, networking, all of those different things that someone else would need if they owned a brick and mortar store, if they owned an e-commerce business, if they were the CEO of a huge company. You got to have all these skills. You have to do these things on a daily basis. We also need to think about internally, who do we want to serve? So we got to do buyer persona exercises. We have to understand who we're serving, how we plan on serving them, what their problems are internally, externally, whatever. We got to think about ourselves too. Who am I? What do I even want to do? Why am I here? Like, go back to that why we said a second ago and then compound on that. Thinking about job descriptions and delegations, that's where that time study comes back in. And then, of course, branding and time management. So these are all things that are just normal in a standard day-to-day business. And now that you're seeing these things, my hope for you is, and I don't want to say this in a bad way, but my hope is you're missing a lot of these. That's a weird thing to say. I know. The reason I'm saying that, though, is once you start understanding that this is what it takes to build, scale, manage, grow, whatever, create a business, a true, viable, profitable, sustainable business, you're going to start to find that that list, that column A, has to be moved to B and C. What that exercise we did earlier, where you're saying, I'm responsible for these things, someone else can be responsible for these, and an automated software or an AI platform can be responsible for these. If you are not doing more than 40 to 50% of this list right now, you're going to want to think about columns B and C, because this is what it's going to take to actually get to the point of having that sustained business. Okay. Not just I made a bunch of money in the month of October. That's awesome. But can you consistently make that same money year over year, month over month, quarter over quarter? And if the answer is no, we might be missing one or more of these things. Okay. Next up is I think this is the last don't. We're going to get into the do's. I'm trying not to be negative here, guys. But the last don't is don't chase the dopamine. I have ADHD. If you guys do not know that, you're brand new to the channel. First of all, I want to encourage you to subscribe if you haven't already. I'm at like 117 subscribers, and I'm loving that. It feels really, really cool because I'm like, I never thought that I would do anything on YouTube. I always wanted to, but I never knew that I could, believed in myself. Here, I really don't give a shit. I was hoping people would show up today, but if they didn't, I would still make this video. If you are liking this, I really, really appreciate you guys. Give me a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. But with that said, I also chased dopamine for a very long time in my business because I have ADHD. So I am very dopamine deficient. And that's why I meant a second ago, as if you're new to the channel. So there I go with my ADHD, just squirrel popping new things think about. So what I will say though is it's never fulfilled. Literally never. Especially when you are depleted physically of it like I am. I had at one point all of my notifications turned on everything. So let's just say, for shiggles, let's say I have Slack, I have YouTube, I have TikTok, I have Instagram, I have Snapchat, I have Facebook, and then I have my clients' YouTube, my clients' Facebook, my clients' Instagram. Like, I had so many things that was going to be popping in all day long. Notifications, notifications, the likes, the comments, the dislikes, the shares, the whatever, the DMs, all freaking day long. So it was never fulfilled. Okay. So with every new inbound lead you get, with every new 1,000, 2,000, 10,000, whatever you are getting followers, with every new string of positive comments, you need to see these things as affirmations that you are doing right by your business. You do not need to see them as, ooh, I'm the shit, because that will not work. From experience. It will only cause you to feel depleted consistently if you do not get those ego boost. Okay. From experience. And I learned this in therapy too. I didn't even know I was doing it to myself. But the second that I turned off those notifications, the second I set boundaries with my clients, the second if anybody knows me, you know I have a D&D 8:45 p.m. Like, do not talk to me because I need my time and I need to set those boundaries for myself. So I am finding internal intrinsic motivation, internal intrinsic dopamine. I don't need it. I don't need the validation from these places anymore. I just need to serve. Like I said, if no one got on, there's 7 people on here. I love all of you. All 7 of you mean that like literal most to me, but like it's only in the grand scheme of being a content creator, only 7 people. I don't care. That is amazing. Like, how cool is that to be able to impact 7 people's lives today? That's huge for me. And that's my dopamine. There could have been 7,000 people on here and I still would have had the same why. I still would have been here no matter what. So find the dopamine internally and don't chase it, because if one week your views aren't good or your comments aren't coming in, you will inevitably feel depleted. You will reach that below baseline location and it will be impossible to create content intentionally the next time, because all you're going to be doing instead is creating content to get out of that dopamine hole. Hope that makes sense. The next things, let's go through the do's. So we went through a little bit, I don't want to say the negatives, but we went through a lot of like, maybe we should stop doing these things. And now we're going to get into the here's how we can use those to our advantage and start doing these. I don't want you to look at comments in a bad way. I don't want them to hurt you. I don't want them to derail you, but I do want you to learn from them. Good, bad, neutral, it doesn't matter. It's all feedback. It's all constructive criticism, or even like you can see here, non-constructive. That's okay. It's your responsibility as a creator, as a business owner, to understand the truth behind the statement. Understand the reality and the why did this person bring this positive comment to me? Why did this person bring this negative comment to me? Why did this person bring the constructive criticism? Like, people always talk about how my audio is off when I use my DJ1 mic. And I'm like, I know. And I get really annoyed, but I'm also like, yeah, you're like so right. I have to do better in order to serve, because maybe they were being mean when they said that, but my brain tells me the algorithm is going to potentially not like me if my audio is off, which means I get to impact less people. I get to serve less people. That is exactly opposite of my why. So I better fix my mic. I hope that makes sense. Just taking that comment and figuring out how can it be used as feedback to be able to build your business instead. And then this is one that I know probably no one is going to like because I sure as shit don't, and it's my own advice. Don't be afraid to ask for feedback before something even goes out. I suck at that. I'm like, I just made this. I spent so much time doing this. I don't give a shit what anybody thinks about it. I need to put this out into the world. And yes, we do, because you want to start messy. You want to get it out there. You want to test. You want to test again. But if you have people in your corner who want to help you and want to see you grow, and you have this amazing maybe group of people that maybe it's an inner circle for your business, test on them first, get their feedback first. They love you, they support you. You guys, for example, like I actively went to my beta group for the Paid Content Creator Academy and gave you guys, like, I mean, I think it was good, but like it needed some work at the same time. As you guys know, it was a beta existence for a reason. It needed to grow, it needed to evolve, it needed your feedback in order to be great for the future. So do the exact same thing for your business, whether it's starting a new offer, It's sending an email campaign. It's creating a new video for a UGC client, and maybe you ask your husband if like he would stop the scroll on it. Whatever it is, get the feedback first or learn from the feedback. Okay. Next up is take the pressure off. This is like so when I started doing this and when I started like I don't want to say not caring because I care so deeply about my business and about you guys. Um, but I stopped caring about the other shit, like putting makeup on. Like I'm wearing a freaking Disney crew neck. I've got like my Apple Watch chilling over here on the bed, my dog and my cat behind me. Um, I have a message to get out and I don't care how I get it out there, right? So when I kind of stopped caring that I might have a flop of a video. When I stopped caring about views, when I stopped caring about makeup and like getting ready for and stuff, like that's how I made connections with people. Ironically, it blew my mind the second that I opened me to people how much people wanted more. It literally blew my mind. I was like, "Why?" I'm so surprised. I hated myself. Like I can say that like looking at this camera right now, I hated myself last year. 100%. I did not like myself. I did not like who I was. I did not like who I was becoming. I did not like the things I was doing. I did not like the people I was working with. And that's hard to say out loud. Like I've never, other than to my therapist, I've never said out loud like I truly did not like myself. And I fucking love myself. Like I'm cool. I really truly love myself this year. And it's only because I am okay. Finally, for the first time in probably 32 years. My birthday's next Friday. I'm turning 32. Probably in 32 years, more than okay, more than accepting of who that person truly is. And I don't got to be anybody else. And the fact that that also drives money and also builds incredible connections with some of the most incredible people that I've met on the internet, like that's just extra perks because when I started showing that side of myself, you guys followed. And that is such a blessing. And I'm so grateful to all of you. But I want you to potentially think that it might be the same for you guys as well. Okay. The next thing I want to talk about really quickly is do choose one thing at a time. And I'm the worst at this. I suffer, and I mean like legitimately suffer from shiny object syndrome. I suck also at doing something hardcore for 2 weeks. Like, I can't even lie to you. This live concept that we're doing today, I might quit in 2 weeks. And I hate to say that, but that is exactly how my brain works. And I'm mad that like I am that way. And that is something that I am still working on is like I am upset with myself for that character trait. However, I'm also giving myself grace and understanding that that is something that I need to be or I need to be okay with. And I just need to fall into and figure out what that looks like next. And I hate to say that I might not see you guys after this live because I really want to and I really do love it. But my brain is also literally wired to work against me sometimes. So I recommend for you guys. And as Sarah just said, I love to try all the things. I know because me and you talked about it earlier this week. The thing that changed everything for me, obviously, all the things we talked about today all go into this, but the biggest one, one thing, one person, one offer, one platform. I learned that from my friend Ryan McMorris. He was my basically life coach last year. He was a business coach, but he basically just become a life coach at that point because we almost didn't even do anything for my business. It was more so just why am I even here? And I'm so grateful for what he taught me here. And I have to give it to you guys and I have to shout him out for it because had I not focused on one thing, I would not be where I am right now. Had I not like really gone all in on one platform, Instagram, I literally would not have met any of you on this live right now. I'm not kidding. All of you are from Instagram. Maybe you also saw me on TikTok once in a blue moon, but like we are all built on Instagram together. Had I not done that, Had I not focused on UGC with my clients in my freelancing business, I wouldn't have made 130,000 from UGC because I would have been doing a billion other things. And I was, girl. So let me tell you, like, I was doing all of the things when I first started, and I got burnt out because who the fuck can do all of that? I really, really highly recommend think about one thing, whatever that is, one person, whoever your target audience is, one offer that you want to give them, and then build from that once you've done it. So a quick example is I went on Upwork and I succeeded on Upwork. And then I was like, okay, next. Went to Fiverr, succeeded on Fiverr. Okay, next. Went to TikTok, succeeded on TikTok. Okay, next. That is totally fine. But if you try to do all 10 of those things at once, someone's going to suffer and it's more than likely going to be you. So just a thought. All right. Do show and embrace what makes you you. This is again the biggest thing that like I had to learn myself internally last year. Was now I do love myself, but I didn't know if anybody else would. So for the first literally 2 years of my business, I hid my true self from it. I did not talk about mental health. I did not talk about my relationships. I literally was like, and it's funny, me and I don't know if you guys know Cassie Johnson, but we were talking the other day that when we get on a live stream, we're ourselves. We're a person. We're Leslie. We're Cassie. But when we get on a YouTube video, we're like, "Hi guys, welcome. Today we are going to talk about," and I just have a way of cutting that shit on. There's a literal other person inside of me that comes out when the camera comes on, and it cracks me up every single time. But I did that for 2 years without the other stuff, without showing the rest of it. Now you get both. You get my like alter ego that's inside of me, my customer service rep, my news reporter, my news anchor, whatever. You get her sometimes, but you also get this. And I'm so grateful that I found the balance between the two of those. But again, it wasn't until I had a mental breakdown that I found all of those things. But once I started doing those, like I told you guys a second ago, I made more money in 2024 than I ever have and maybe ever will. I'm really hoping I can keep growing or at least just maintaining, but 250,000 by the end of October. Like I can't even wrap my brain around that number still to this day. It's not a brag. It is like unimaginable that this has happened once I started owning who the hell I am. That's what's unimaginable because I never in a million years thought that you guys would give a shit about what's going on in my life outside of this, would give a shit about this list of things that I struggled with because you guys might also struggle with it too. I would have never had this conversation this time last year. And had I not, I wouldn't have built this awesome community of people who literally buy anything I put out. Like it's not only helping me, it's helping them. And it's also helping my bottom line, like as a business owner. And it's because like I'm the only person that is me, right? And you're the only person that is you. And there is so much inauthenticity in the world, especially with, I was talking earlier about how awesome it is that we have AI. How awesome it is not that we have AI, right? Like we don't really have like relationships anymore. We don't really have connections online anymore. It's very, very rare that you'll see someone that is actually authentic and that is actually full of integrity online. Unfortunately, that just break my heart. You're also starting to see, I don't know if you guys have seen this, but you guys might have also seen that there are literal AI dupes. And if you go to captions.com, I believe it's a company that literally, not, they didn't create, but I used, not me personally, but like I went to go see what it was like. You take a video of your face and you turn to the left, you turn to the right, you say a few words, you read a script, and then they make an AI dupe of you to make your content. And that just made me sick. I was like, no, I need to be there physically. And granted, I want to rely on AI, I want to rely on automations, all the things we talked about, but there's lines to that, and that is one that I will not be crossing personally, because you are important, and people are so fed up with inauthenticity and they want raw and they want vulnerable and they want real. And that's why UGC works, by the way, because it's people buying from people, not buying from brands or AI or the Jesse voice that you see all the time. So whatever you can do to shine through all of that other BS automated noise is going to make you stand out significantly. I also recommend do be okay with not being okay. I know I'm running out of time today, so I'll go through these last few as quick as I can. But I don't know if you guys know Vanessa Lau, but she's a little story I wanted to tell really quickly. She is my absolute favorite creator on YouTube. I've been following her for years. Like when I used to walk on the treadmill in the mornings and watch YouTube videos in my 9 to 5 job. She was one of those creators. And she got to this exact point that we are talking about today, way, way worse than I did. And she had almost a million subscribers on YouTube. And she was just like, gotta go. This is not for me anymore. So she literally ducked out for like 8 to 12 months and I missed her. But when she came back, you can see and feel, especially when you experience the old Vanessa, like this girl is authentic as shit. Like she is 100% unapologetically showing up as herself. And I have never felt like more seen and understood in my life than when she made me feel seen and understood, that I wasn't crazy, that I wasn't the only one going through these things. And my hope and my goal is this live is making you guys feel the same, because I want you to understand that it is okay with not being okay online. Like I said, it's yours. It's your story. It's uniquely yours. The good, the bad, the ugly. And then I put at the bottom the panic attacks on the shower floor. When I opened up about my struggles with mental health, you guys opened up about your struggles with mental health. And I had no idea that there was something out there that I could serve. There was a market of people, a group of people that I could serve in the mental health space to make them feel empowered to even consider starting an online business had I not been okay first with not being okay online. Another person I want to hit on real quick is my friend Kate. She is one of my one-on-one students, clients, whatever you want to call her. And she had kind of boxed herself into a niche in like the print on demand and Etsy space. But she's got so much other stuff to talk about. She is a genuinely incredible human and an even more incredible business owner. And I absolutely love this woman. Like seriously, she is like I aspire to be her. I'm like, can I be you when I grow up? Even though she's like 5 years younger than I am. And I was like, girl, trust me. You are doing a disservice to your people by not telling the rest of your story. And sure enough, these are the results within just like a week and a half of her getting vulnerable and her talking about her business. And it's like her numbers didn't change at all. They are still doing exactly what they're supposed to. They are actually reaching a larger audience, and she's growing a connection, a true connection with this audience now. However, my third continuation here is if you are not interested in or ready to show that side of you online yet, that is okay. You don't have to be okay with being okay, but you do have to be okay with stepping away. I probably should put that on a bumper sticker because it rhymed. You will never serve your business, your followers, your clients, your people, whatever. You'll never serve any of them until you fill your own cup first. So something that I have been saying for the past couple of weeks, because it's been so applicable to every single one of my one-on-one clients, which is incredible. Like all of them are experiencing the exact same things and overcoming the exact same things in their own beautiful way. And I'm so, so grateful to be a part of that journey. But I keep saying, we've got 60 days, give or take, left of the year, right? We've got 60, we got 2 months, we got 60 days. Are you going to fill your time over the next 60 days? Or can you use that time to fill your cup? That is something that I am personally asking myself every single day as well, so that I can be the best version of myself, even better than I was in 2024 this time next year. Okay. The last, I think I have two more things. Do be okay also with not being great at something. So not only do I want you to be okay with not physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, whatever being okay, but I also want you to be okay with not being good at what you're trying to do. And if you do try something new, you're not going to be good at it. If you were, that would be weird. Like I don't know, I've never done that, and I'm not going to lie, an alien I'm a unicorn as it relates to most people that I know, but I've never been good at something immediately, right? When I started on Upwork, I started shitty. I started Fiverr stupid. I started UGC very overwhelmed and confused. I started TikTok absolutely terrified because I got on TikTok 22 days after I left my full-time job, and I literally blocked everyone because I was terrified of what they were going to say about me. And then I grew to 60,000 followers in 1 month because I did it scared. And I started on Instagram intimidated. I did it scared. So just start, no matter what it is. Learn from your mistakes that you're inevitably going to make and be okay with making them. And be like, okay, this is an opportunity to grow. Don't just let something like, okay, I think, I don't know if you guys have heard the Super Mario effect. I think I talked about it in my paid content creator academy a couple months ago. But if you're playing Super Mario Bros. And let's say you jump on something that kills you, like you jump on something and it impales you. You don't just be like, "Oh, I'm the worst," and you throw it. I mean, you might, because you might be competitive like I am, because I sometimes get to that point and my husband gets mad. But like you're not just gonna throw that away and never touch that again. You're not going to be so upset with yourself that you got impaled by whatever that was. You're not going to be so like judgmental of yourself. Instead, you're going to pick up the damn controller and you're going to start over again, because that's how the game works, right? So why can't we do that potentially in life as well? Okay. Last but not least, do plan like your life depends on it, because it does, right? This is a livelihood. This is a business. We are not just making an expensive side hustle or an expensive hobby anymore. We are making a legitimate business that is legitimately funding our lifestyle. So when we talked earlier about the things that you should be thinking about as a business owner, what are some things that you should also be planning consistently? This should be the norm, just standardly going forward. And if you are currently in this place where you feel burnt out, if you're currently in this place where you don't feel aligned, you don't even know what 2025 is, like right now, I know what my 2025 income goals are almost. I have an idea. But in the month of November, I am making a full-blown business plan for 2025, and I have done that every single year since November of 2021. And that's just normal for me. And I want that to be normal for you guys. Here are some things that you might want to take into consideration right now to make 2025 your best year yet, and also your easiest year yet, because you're giving yourself grace, you're giving yourself the space to not have to be like chasing your tail 24/7. So taxes, make sure you have a good plan for that. What you want to be known for 5 years from now, because a lot of people are going to be like, here are my 2025 goals, and then that's it. But like, is that is that who you actually want to be, or is that who maybe you want to be 2 years from now, 5 years from now? Like, and if it's not, let's figure that out and have some come to Jesus meetings with ourselves over the next 60 days, because I know right now, I hope at least, who I was in 2022 when I started this is exactly who I am today. I'm just showing more of myself, thank freaking God. But it's the exact same thing. I still want to teach people how to love themselves and build a business that they love. That's still who I am, and I'm still going to be that in 5 years, hopefully, at least. So I want you guys to think about that as well. And then, what are we going to do for our business itself? So, what's the content strategy? What's your offer strategy? Emails, lead magnets, the clients you want to work with. Like maybe there's a client right now that you're like, damn, that would be really, really awesome. Like Yeti, for example. Let's say you want to work with Yeti, and you know you have a little bit of a ways to go with your portfolio to work with Yeti. What are we going to do to get there? Like having those conversations now is going to make it that much easier when that time comes. Okay. Obviously, income goals and how to consistently achieve them. And then I also want you guys to think now about what you want to do to invest in your business next year. And I don't mean work with evolution. Of course, I would love to work with you. You don't have to ever watch me ever again. I just want you to think like, what do I need? Do I need a mentor? Do I need an accountant? Do I need to learn bookkeeping for my business because I don't want to hire an accountant, but I need these things done? Do I want to maybe offer digital ads campaigns next year as a service? And I know I got to go learn that. Whatever it is, how are you going to invest in your business or yourself to be the best business owner by this time next year? Okay. So I don't know how I did it, but I did that in exactly 58 minutes. So I thank you guys so much for being here with me today. We've got about 9 people still here live. Also wanted to give a little heart and additional love to anybody who took the time to watch this replay as well. I'm seeing you guys in the comments. I see someone named Mike actually found me through my other YouTube client. So hi, Mike. Thanks for coming over to my smaller, much smaller neck of the woods. And I really appreciate, like I said, all of you guys being here. I will continue to do this every Tuesday, and I hopefully, if my ADHD brain does not paralyze me. And I also will let you guys know way more in advance when that time comes. So again, thank you for being here. I hope this was helpful. If it was, please leave me a comment and let me know which of the however many the hell we just went through tips was most beneficial to you in your journey. And of course, if you ever want to send me a DM and have a more personal conversation about your personal journey, find me on Instagram at Evolution Freelancing. Thanks, guys. I will talk to you soon. Bye.